Stockport came desperately close to knocking out their First Division opponents. Winger Brett Angel hit the bar with a shot in the first half. Minutes later, the woodwork again denied County from scoring. But Rangers' Simon Barker also hit the crossbar. Despite all the action, the game ended quite goalless.
So the pressure on Plymouth in these opening stages. Already 2-0 down, of course. They've got to hold out against this Arsenal side. And Rocastle, it's there! The shot from Rocastle and the deflection. And Arsenal get the goal they so badly wanted. But Arsenal breaking so quickly, they got Rocastle on this far wing. But that's well cut out by Brimacombe. And this is a good cup tie. Stewart, what a run, switching flanks. Campbell inside, so's Tynan. Still Stewart, good ball! Oh, so lucky, it's there! Tynan! And Argyle thoroughly deserved that. Back to Winterburn. Let's break forward again. Martin Hayes all along the line to Richardson. He's going to try it. Lovely ball inside. Yes. The simplest of goals from Arsenal. Mickey Thomas, the scorer. Come then. Free kick knocked on. Inevitably by Greg Campbell. And this will be interesting. Perry Groves, has he got the speed? Well, he surely must score here. Groves knocks it home. And I think that just about clinches the tie, because Argyle were predictably stretched. And Perry Groves gets the Gunners' third goal here. He's got Smith free. Hayes tries it. Smith must knock it home. And now Plymouth are in danger of being absolutely humiliated here at home park. Smith. Lovely ball inside. Is that Merson already? Thomas. And it is number 5. Michael Thomas. Castle again. On the overlap comes Dixon. Arsenal pushing forward for this 6th goal. Well, Thomas blasts it into the corner, and it's there.
The third division side covering themselves in glory at the City Ground. Forest ahead on the night, though, thanks to a stunning solo goal from Tommy Gaynor. How about that for a finish at the end of a terrific run? Craig Maskell, who scored 33 goals last season, equalised just 7 minutes later. A good deliberate build-up. Maskell shrugging off the challenge and keeping his composure to score. Into the second half then, 48 minutes to be exact, and Forest were back in front. Nice ball from Nigel Clough finding Gary Crosby. Crosby, who scored in the first leg, on the target again. And then Clough recorded his first goal of the season, and some goal it was too. 3-1 then on the night, but drama to come. Maskell got his second goal of the game 16 minutes later to make it 3-2, direct from the free kick. And 5 minutes later, Mike Chechery got the equaliser. It wasn't enough, though. Forest surviving extra time and going through on the away goals rule.
Luton with a 4-3 lead to bring back to Kenilworth Road. The goals were soon flowing again. Roy Wegerle, who scored twice at Mansfield, on the mark after 14 minutes. Luton, winners of the Littlewoods Cup in 1988, losing finalists to Forest last season, and it was soon 2-0. David Preece helping Luton start out on a road they hope will lead to Wembley yet again. Mansfield are struggling in the lower reaches of the third division, but Mark Carney's goal at least gave them some satisfaction. 2-1, 6-4 to Luton on aggregate. In August, Luton signed Lars Elstrup, the Danish international. He's not yet scored in the first division, but he helped himself to a hat-trick here, the first a minute before half-time, to add to his 2 goals at Mansfield. It was Elstrup again, 4 minutes after the break. Difficult to keep count now. 4-1 in this game, 8-4 to Luton overall. Mansfield striving to prevent Luton really running away with it. 58 minutes gone now. A mistake by goalkeeper Alec Chamberlain allowed Steve Wilkinson a goal. 4-2, 8-5 on aggregate. But any hopes of heroism wiped out by Elstrup, his third, and his personal total over the 2 legs rising to 5. For Luton, it is a cosmopolitan attacking combination, the Dane Elstrup and the South African-born Wegerle, who made his name in the United States. Wegerle making it 6-2 in this match, 10-5, emphasising the gap in league status between the 2 sides. And it didn't finish there. One more to come for Luton from John Dreyer. 7-2 on the night, 11-5 overall. Great entertainment.
Now, Sheffield Wednesday increased their season's goal credit by 500% in one night at Aldershot. Steve Whitton with their first away goal this season. And in no time, Dalian Atkinson made the most of this blunder, and it was 0-2. Whitton, ex-West Ham and Birmingham City, can head a ball as well. 0-3. I suppose it'll be Atkinson next. Yeah, sure enough, a little help from Dave Bennett. And the question was, which player would be the first to his hat-trick? The answer? Atkinson. 0-5. But within 53 minutes, both men had reached that target. Whitton with number 6. And he wasn't finished. His 4th and Wednesday's 7th coming up. Hard to imagine how it stayed goalless at Hillsborough. And the last word, where do you think that went? Where students of English literature think it should always go, to a man called Shakespeare. 8-0, the tempest had subsided.
Going into top gear, it was Orient who struck first. Danny Carter in the 44th minute really made the most of it. Flashing shot past Neville Southall from fully 25 yards, 2-2 on aggregate. Everton had lost Kevin Ratcliffe with a groin injury, but it was Tony Cottee coming on as substitute who set up the equaliser. Norman Whiteside with the final touch from close range. Everton went 2-1 up when Kevin Sheedy got on the end of a weak clearance from Pat Nevin's corner. Typical Sheedy, clinical. But to their credit, Orient came back again with another superbly created goal. Everton not really picking up in midfield, allowing time and space for Lee Harvey to thread the ball through to Jeff Pike, who'd made the run. Nice finish, 2-2 on the night, 4-2 on aggregate.
Stoke with a goal lead. It disappeared just before half-time. Carter chasing a lost cause to tee up Teddy Sheringham at the far post. Good goal, that. The winner in the final minute of extra time wasn't a good goal, though. Certainly not according to Stoke. Watch for Millwall number 10, Tony Cascarino, trying to stay onside. But as Hurlock played it through, well, he looked at least a yard off, didn't he? The rest was worthy enough. Decisions even out over a season. By rights, Stoke should have a very good FA Cup run. Blackburn's chances probably disappeared with goalkeeper Terry Geno's disappearance from the first leg at Exeter a fortnight ago through injury. Left them with an awful lot to do. They made inroads into Exeter's 3-goal lead with this goal from Mark Atkins just before half-time. Hope again for Blackburn. It faded at the end of this bold run by Exeter's Richard Young. He looks worth a scouting check, doesn't he? Darren Rowbotham drives the goal through the keeper's hand. Blackburn again needing 3 goals, but in half an hour now. They got one back with this late goal from Mark Atkins.
It was a night more about Brian Robson than Littlewood's Cup success over Portsmouth. Certainly showed his class without getting on the score sheet. But the news looks very good for England. Robson showing the old power, verve and awareness, even if the final touch wasn't quite there. With Ritchie now in devastating form for Oldham, their fortunes have changed too. Their 5th win in 6 games against Leeds on Tuesday. Frankie Bunn getting the opener on 36 minutes. Ritchie himself made the game safe with his 6th goal in 7 games against his former club, though Chris Fairclough pulled one back for Leeds late on.
Gary Briggs, a League Cup winner 4 seasons ago with Oxford, was a hard man to ignore at Bloomfield Road on Tuesday night. Having headed Blackpool into a first-half lead against Barnsley, he then scored the late own goal that took the tie first to extra time and then to penalties. The shootout stood at 4-4 when Riccardo Gabbiadini, younger brother of Sunderland striker Marco, stepped up. 5-4 Blackpool. That meant Paul Futcher had to score for Barnsley. Steve McElhargy's save took Blackpool through to a third-round tie at Exeter.
Nichols. Clark again. Good effort. And he's found the corner of the net. And Steve Clark gives Chelsea the lead. Richards misjudged it. Dixon. Wilson's there to help it in. And that was enough to give Chelsea a 2-goal lead. Russell. No, he can't cross the ball well. And does so. Oh, it's a great goal! And Graham gets Scarborough back into the game. Norris again. Back to Saunders. Good little ball down the line for Short. Robinson's there, it's in! Unbelievable! The 18-year-old scores his first ever goal in senior football. It's turned on to Norris. He's got Clark with him and Clark brings him down. It's a penalty. Scarborough have been given a penalty. 15 minutes of the match remaining. He scored. Scarborough, from being 2 down, are 3-2 up against the second team in the First Division.
Cowans takes it and put in by Mountfield. Goal from very close range. Here's Vaughan. And that's ball! Brilliant! Brave and brilliant.
Few on the edge of the area. Martin comes in on this one. He's got it. He scored. Southend are 1 up. And Crown can get this over to Bennett. He's there. And here comes Paul Allen. Oh, he scored. And Naeem has it. Oh, it's great play by Naeem. He's in here. Naeem makes it 2-2. Paul Brush with the kick. Roy McDonough gets up to compete well. And here's Bennett on the way through, and he's got it. And Southend in the lead.
And a lot expected on the night of Kevin Drinkle. Coventry's most expensive signing. 3-1 they trail from the first leg. Well, Grimsby certainly don't look overawed. Putting their passes together. Oh, and Rees may have caught Downs on the far side. And he might walk for that. Drinkle, great finish! What a start for Kevin Drinkle. Oh, they left Smith alone on the far side. And Speedy's unmarked! 3-3 on aggregate. David Speedy. Smith and Coventry really with their tails up now. McDonald might try one. Oh, screamer!
Played in for Saunders. Good turn, that's 1-0.
here's McMinn. Evans missed it. Saunders hasn't. 2-0. McMinn again, he's causing problems down this left side. And that's in once again from Saunders. A hat-trick, 1-2-3. Covered. Onside. And Goddard makes it 4. Saunders. A lot of the trouble has come from this side, and McMinn gets the 5th.
With Sons injured and Rush and Beardsley replaced, where would the Liverpool goals come from? Well, substitute Steve Staunton pointed the way. His first senior goal for the club, and Paul Wigan Athletic were to witness his first senior hat-trick. Liverpool had Staunton and Jan Molby playing together up front at one point. They do seem short of attacking cover at the moment, in theory anyway. Staunton's second in the space of 12 minutes, and from Molby's flick. Liverpool, who were 2-1 down during the first leg, remember, completed an 8-2 aggregate win with Staunton's third 3 minutes from time. Who needs strikers when your fullbacks score hat-tricks?
In the meantime, stirring stuff at St James's Park. Newcastle had some leeway to make up, and when Lyndon Jones handled, Gary Brazil had the chance to score his first goal for the club. And he did it. And Newcastle were level on aggregate with Reading when Kevin Brock scored a second. Nicely done. And the crucial third goal set up by Christensen. Andy Thorne, the skipper, making it 3-0. He enjoyed that one, didn't he? And good work by Dillon, enabling Mark McGee, the man of the match, to score a 4th in the final minute. Here it comes.
Manchester City, 2-1 down from the first leg, had to wait until the second half to break third division Brentford's spirit. They made an ideal start with this early David White goal. Morley's shot parried for White to gobble up. But nobody could dispute Brentford's right to an equaliser before half-time. Like Steve Perryman himself, forthright and determined, they kept at it and eventually hustled Brian Gale into a tackle which ran kindly for Eddie May to pop the visitors back into the aggregate lead. Every First Division club knows there are bound to be some famous victims on a cup night, but City seized the initiative with another outburst of home goals in the second half, 3 in the space of 5 minutes. The first 2 from Trevor Morley. Nobody was going to deny him here, keeping his feet and his head and turning the tie in the process. Ian Brightwell came storming down the middle to set up the next. It's amazing how much confidence that Manchester derby victory has pumped into City veins. Morley hadn't scored before then, but it's second nature to him again now. That could prove to have been a big day for David Oldfield too. He rounded off this big night after good work, first by Fleming, and then not such good work by Brightwell. Norwich City next out of the hat for Mel Machin and his young tearaways.
Another First Division side, Crystal Palace, cut it fine at Leicester, bottom of Division 2. 74 minutes before Jeff Hopkins put Palace ahead. And then it all happened. 60 seconds later, Wayne Clark, ex-Everton, 1-1. And Jeff Thomas made it 3 goals in 3 minutes to restore Palace's advantage. Extra time required. And a former Leicester striker, Mark Bright, gets the ball over the line in the 97th minute. 3-1 to Palace. Not over yet. Alan Parrish tied it up at 4-4 on aggregate. Clark hit the bar for Leicester in the last minute, but away goals putting Palace through to meet the cup holders, Nottingham Forest.